Hey girls, I'm not sure what take we're on. Yeah. I'm back. It's me with the, 1,500 takes, I guess. But, trying to get this video out just so I can say hey. I've missed you guys. But, we got all moved in. Me and the cats got all moved in. When did I move? April 28th, and this is May 25th, and I just got my internet hooked up Sunday. All kinds of life stuff going on in between, and managed to do I'll do my scrap roomette is what I'm calling it. I'll do a tour, though I'm not real sure tour actually implies moving about. I don't know. I'll show you what it looks like. It's a small space, and I don't have everything where it's gonna be, if that makes any sense at all. Where stuff is right now is more than likely not where it's gonna permanently be located. I'm just I'm moving things around as I get in here and do stuff, and I'm like, okay, this needs to move over here, that needs to be closer, that can go up on a higher shelf, whatever. So just keep that in mind. Don't judge me for how completely cluttered things look, because I haven't been in here, and I came in once over the last 2 weeks to make a layout. Linus, this is not gonna go into take 25. Seriously, I exaggerate, but I keep getting a scratch in my throat, anyways. So, Linus, he would have been 14 this summer. Yeah, 14 in a couple of months. Had to have him put down last Thursday, the 17th. He went into what I'm assuming was kidney failure. It's all the anyways, I didn't, no autopsy, none of that. That's not necessary to do that. So I don't know what it was. I can only go by what I saw and what other people have said it sounded like. So that's that. I made I've only done a handful of layouts in my life, but this one, I came in. When did I do this? I think I did this like this past Sunday or Monday. I forget. Just a couple days ago. But printed out some pictures of him that I took recently within the last year. And this paper right here and the mats are all from DCWV Pet Stack, and I think this little dangly thing was a charm that came off of how at Big Lots you get these kind of unnamed multi-pack thingies, and it was all pet related, and I got that and spelled out his little name in some brown glittery thickers, because even though he's a boy, I still love glitter. I didn't go overboard with it though. And had a little gray cat button that I cut the tail off because it was all swirling out here, and Linus was tailless. He did not have a tail, so I just, okay, cut it off. Not his, I didn't do that. He came like that, but off the button. I put some little kitty cat feet prints down here, and used my border punch on a scrap piece of cardstock and did some journaling. And this was a sticker off, I think it came in the same pack as this, and it says 9 lives aren't enough, and I just backed it on a piece of corrugated cardstock and put 2 more little kitty cat feet print brads up here, and put some little this was silver, and I colored it blue with my Copic markers, but I'm thinking I should have left it silver. I don't know. But I'll try not to ramble like I did last time, because we were hitting the 15-minute mark and nobody wants to hear me talking for 15 minutes. So I'll just tell you quickly, if you have cats, please don't feed them dry cat food, because that will cause feline diabetes, and that's what I've lost my last 2 cats to. Linus was 9 years old, almost 9 years old. Yeah, was he? I don't know. I lose track of how, because I adopt cats from my vet. That's where I got Lucy 5 years ago after Gizmo passed away, and Gizmo and Linus grew up together. They were about 6, 8, 9 months apart, somewhere in there, because they were guesstimating at his age, because he was they said between 6 months and a year old. They weren't real sure. He was a rescue from my vet. And Gizmo's buddy had died, and, Gizmo was very forlorn, and so I went to the vet and I said, do you have any kittens for adoption that are, Gizmo at the time was about 1.5 years old, a little over a year old, and, that I don't want a little bitty thing, and so they showed me him, and he just clung to me like a little fat gray koala bear, and he was just so adorable. And I had to go home and make sure it was okay, and I went and picked him up the next day. And so him and Gizmo were together for at least 8 years, and they were buddy. I mean, I did not have hardly any pictures of just Linus or just Gizmo like this. When Gizmo was alive, they were always together. I mean, they slept together, they cuddled together, they played together, they were always together. And I think a lot of that was much to Gizmo's chagrin, because Linus could get on his nerves quite a bit. He's like, come on, please, can I just have some peace and privacy? And Linus was like, no. So, anyways, Gizmo died almost 5.5 years ago from complications from feline diabetes, and the vet said it was his steady diet of nothing but dry cat food. And cats are strictly carnivores. They're meat eaters, and their bodies are not made to process high amounts of starch and carbohydrates, which is all dry cat food is. So that's why you see so many fat cats, and that's why you see so much feline diabetes going on. And it happened to both of mine. These Gizmo and Linus were approaching the 20-pound mark, and that was feeding them the expensive, like $15 a bag, Eukanuba weight loss cat food. And they were not losing weight, they were steady gaining weight. Gizmo developed diabetes, and the vet said stop. And so Linus was at that time such a carbohydrate addict, it was ridiculous. The only canned cat food I could get him to eat that was no wheat gluten, no starch, no potatoes, no grains, no vegetables, no brown rice, none of that stuff they like to put in there as cheap filler, but they try to appeal to our sense of healthy, like it's got peas and carrots and cucumbers and squash, and what the hell is a cat doing eating peas and carrots? They don't eat peas and carrots. I mean, come on. But it's cheap filler, and rice. They try to put brown rice in there to make it seem healthy. Cats don't eat brown rice. They should never eat brown rice. So, there's that. But Fancy Feast was the only one that he would eat that did not have wheat gluten. It was the pate stuff, that solid pack stuff, the little bitty cans. If it comes in a gravy, it's not good for him. Check the ingredients. No wheat gluten, no potato starch, no rice starch, no potatoes, no rice, no grains. But the only bad thing about Fancy Feast was that it had, and I think Friskies, I think they're made by the same people, Friskies Classic Pate in the big can is the same. They don't have any wheat gluten, none of that. But they have meat byproduct, which could contain anything from diseased organs to God only knows what else in there. So it was a struggle for the last 5.5 years to get Linus to eat healthier, and he peeled off half his body weight. He dropped down to, he was steady at about 10 pounds, and which is a healthier weight, but he was still, the carbohydrate addict. If I had bread or any kind of pasta, he went berserk to get it. I mean, that's how bad dry cat food is for cats. It turns them into, nutty carbohydrate addicts, and then they develop diabetes, and you're footing hundreds and hundreds worth of dollars of vet bills trying to keep their insulin regulated, which thank God I did not have to go through that with Linus. He was healthy right up until literally his kidneys just shut down. I'm assuming that's what it was. That's what clinically, that's what they think it looked like. But if you have cats, please check it out on the internet and get them on a high protein, low carbohydrate diet. No wheat gluten, no starch of any kind, no grain of any kind, no vegetables of any kind, just meat, and vitamins. And you can, this stuff, Fancy Feast, is like 50 cents a can here, and the big can of the Friskies pate, the solid pack stuff, was like 40 cents a can, so it's doable. It's very doable. But if you can afford the more expensive stuff that's like way better quality, I mean, they tell you it's got chicken, there's no byproduct in it, and there's no crap in it that they put for fillers. I get my food now, Wellness brand, Wellness Core. Lots and lots of research it took, and lots of cans that sat uneaten because somebody was very, very picky. But anyways, Lucy is doing quite fine on Wellness Core and the Wellness cat food and those other, like I think it's called Instinct. They have venison, duck, rabbit, and chicken, and she likes all of those. But it's expensive, but they're worth it in my opinion. I would rather foot the bill for more expensive cat food than to have to, God forbid, rush them to emergency vet. And if any of you have ever done that, you know that costs, you're not going to walk out of there under $1,000. I'll just tell you that right now. But so if you have cats, please throw out the dry cat food and get them on something healthy and prevent, or try to prevent, feline diabetes. Check it out on the internet, and look for my room tour coming up next. Stephanie's Scrap Roomette. I'll talk to you later. Bye.